Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And guess what? I'm here for yet another vinegar video. But today, this is one I haven't thought about doing after all these years of shooting vinegar videos, and that is the health benefits of vinegar and how you can use it for such, both internally and externally. So what I have right here are two of my most recent batches of vinegar that I got going. You can see this one here. You might be able to see, I'm not sure how clear that's showing up, but this one's just a little more cloudy than this one because they were started a few days apart. So this one here is a little farther along, and they are bubbly, and these are rosemary vinegars. So while at the time I'm shooting this video, all the rest of my herbs are done, like my nasturtium's all finished, everything else is done, since rosemary is evergreen, and even in our cold, wet climate, now that I finally found the perfect place, it's actually still putting on some new greenery right now, which after all these years has been surprising. So I figure let's put some more of this to use. I've got a lot dried up to use for cooking and whatnot. So I'll be talking in a bit about how I plan on using these. And then this bottle of vinegar is a little bit of whatever. It's mostly apple because that was the last thing I used to top it off with. But this is the one that stays in the kitchen and gets used for whatever I'm doing in the kitchen that I need vinegar for. So let me go ahead and read off these benefits that I listed off. Plus I'll be going in a little bit on how to use them and how I've used them for various things. And I'm also going to be talking about the types of vinegar, because this isn't just about apple cider vinegar. But let me read off these benefits first. So it can be very helpful for dealing with allergies, especially seasonal allergies. It's very good for your gut health. Anything dealing with your digestion, you're going to find this to be very helpful because it can bring proper balance. It can be very helpful at lowering chronically high blood pressure, fighting cancer, overall oral health, so like using it as a rinse. This would be usually in a diluted form. I believe it's like a tablespoon to 8 ounces of water. You can use it as a mouthwash. Lowering blood sugar. It is a natural antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral. Not as much on the antiviral front as the antibacterial and antifungal, but interestingly enough, the one virus it has been effective against is that most current one that took over the whole world in 2020. So that really surprised me. I didn't expect that one. It can be good at promoting hair growth, and this can be applied topically. So let's say you have some thin spots, you can just take a little of your homemade vinegar and kind of rub it in there, maybe even a couple of times a day. But also I would say it can help internally as well, from the inside out. A lot of things that can help topically when it comes to hair growth, nails, strength, and so on, and even skin health. If it's good topically and it's safe to take internally, it can also help from the inside out. And speaking of skin health, vinegar is also good for skin health. So again, internally, but also used in a diluted form, kind of like an astringent, topically for skin health. It can help your body to burn fat, and also just generally help with weight management. It reduces cholesterol and can help combat acid reflux. Believe it or not, a lot of people think something that's an acid can make acid reflux worse, but it's all about the proper balance. And yes, too much vinegar, if you have those kind of issues, can cause more irritation. So it's about getting a good balance and knowing how much you can handle, but also trial and error. Sometimes, just like with any medicinal herb or whatever, some things people just can't take at all, where some people find that very thing extremely helpful. It is good for heart health, and again, topically, it can help with eczema and other fungal infections of the skin. I've used it to combat a couple of different fungal infections I've had, just spraying it straight on there. Yes, it can kind of sting a little bit, but I have found it works really great for killing off those fungal infections. So that can be ringworm, athlete's foot, and more. Or those who have toenail fungus infections, those can be very, very hard to combat, but some people have found soaking in straight vinegar to be helpful. And it can also help to support your immune health. So now let me talk just a little bit about the different types of vinegars, but I'm also going to be linking you back to how to make any kind of vinegar in my description box down below, and another video I did, the most recent one, on the many uses of vinegar. In those, I do cover various different types, but I'll just go quickly over that here. So as you can see, I've got rosemary vinegar. I've made many different types of fruit vinegar. So just like I said in the beginning, your homemade vinegar to get a lot of these health benefits, doesn't have to be just apple cider vinegar. People think that because it's the one that is most commonly sold on the market. It's very rare you're going to find stores selling vinegars made from things like herbs, be they culinary herbs or medicinal herbs, which, by the way, your culinary herbs all have medicinal uses too. Different flowers from the garden, or other types of fruit and fruit scraps such as banana peel vinegar, peach peel and pit vinegar, mango peel and pit vinegar, citrus peel vinegar, and the like. Anything that's edible, you can make vinegar from. You can even use your grains to make vinegar, or dried fruits like raisins, or dried herbs. I've made a couple of vinegars using dried rosemary and dried nasturtiums from my garden. So we're going to come back to the rosemary vinegar, since that's what's sitting right here. And this is something that I could use for a base for a salad dressing, such as especially Italian dressing. And in that case, you could make a vinegar out of sage, or rosemary and garlic, or oregano and garlic, like I've done. I've never used it for salad dressing, though I keep saying I'm going to. But my purpose of doing that is so I can add it to the chicken's water, because that oregano and garlic is really, really healthy for them. And you can add it to your pet's water as well, to get those same types of health benefits into their diets. But the number one reason I'm making the rosemary vinegar is because I do like to use various herbs and flowers that I know are very good for skin and hair health as my hair wash and rinse. And so most of the vinegars I use on my hair are those I make from the various herbs out of my garden. That would include honeysuckle, fuchsia, dandelion, rose petal, and so on. Most of the time, I'm just mixing all these different flowers together. Pansies is another one I like to add, especially when I have those darker colors that can really deepen the color of the vinegar, just making it look real pretty. Oh, marshmallow is another one I've used. Now, another one that I've mentioned a few times, that if you're talking about its medicinal uses and knowing that you can make vinegar out of your different medicinal herbs, well, making a vinegar out of those medicinal herbs, let's say you're looking at taking the vinegar specifically to help with your digestive health. What kind of herbs are you growing that can be very beneficial for your gut health? I know marshmallow is a good one for soothing. You can take marshmallow leaf. While you can make vinegar out of the marshmallow root, it can get a little slimy because of the nature of the marshmallow root, but consider using the leaves and flowers to make a good gut healthy vinegar out of that. And then if you want to take one of your vinegars made from a medicinal herb, let's say the rosemary, because rosemary is a natural antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal as well. And then you want to take that and either use it as is for a spray, or just taking it as is to help fight colds and flus. You can also use that vinegar to make an alcohol-free tincture, adding more herbs. So I've got the vinegar all strained out. I've got my jar of herbs. Maybe it's more rosemary, maybe it's another kind of herb, maybe it's elderberries. Then I can pour that vinegar over that and then let that infuse for a couple of months. And now I've got a pretty powerful antibacterial, antiviral extract that I can use for colds and flus. And that's just a couple of really simple ideas. If you want a basic overall great for your pretty much everything health kind of vinegar, consider something like Heal All or even lemon balm, or even a mix of some of these herbs, making your vinegar out of that. Because I have made a lemon balm vinegar, by the way, which I ended up using for cleaning more so than anything, but also for topical use. And then using that vinegar, you can mix it with honey even to give it a better flavor, and then have that be your solvent to make another type of medicinal extract. The combinations and options you can come up with would be innumerable, and it would be based on what you are already growing or stocking up on when it comes to your different medicinal herbs. So I already mentioned the hair wash rinse. I actually have a video just on using vinegar for that and the types I use that I'll also link to in the description box down below. And then I also mentioned using it as a spray, a topical spray. Now you can either water that down or use it straight like I do. I find it most effective straight, but that doesn't mean you have to use it that way. And even, by the way, when I'm cleaning, I always use it straight. But again, you can water it down. Some people may want to water it down when they're using it to clean glass. But at any rate, another great option to use it just for your general health and, you know, skin health and the helping to detoxify the body is adding a couple of cups to your bath water. If you're taking one of those detoxifying kind of baths, consider adding a couple of cups to that. Because even if you don't have any skin issues like eczema or a fungal infection that you're concerned about, if you're just wanting to add it for your general skin health, well, there you go. So there's just a few of the different ways that you can use vinegar to help with to heal your body or just increase your health. And what I'm hoping is that people following me and watching this video can share what they've used their homemade vinegar for, especially when it comes to your own personal health, your pet's health, your kids' health, whatever. What have you used it for? How has it helped? Please share these in comments down below so people like me and my followers can learn a little more from you as well. And thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.